So I don't know if you can tell, but during filming, since I'm filming outside, my paper blew off the table and into the pool. So we're just gonna go with it. So anyway, this is the unique Beaks activity. It says, just like Darwin's finches, who evolved over time to survive in their environments on the Galapagos Islands, so have other birds. Their beaks help them survive their environment with many different types of food. Let's see how your beak does at collecting food. Now, I know that I have a video from Brain Pop up in the Google Classroom, but I'm going to look for another one to link up there specifically about Darwin's finches. And this activity we would do in the class with the entire class, so we're going to have to modify it a little bit for you to do this at home, but I think it will be a fun activity for you. You can either do this with your family, or you can do it with your siblings, or you can do it with just you actually. So what you need is different types of beaks, and the suggestions are fork, spoon, tweezers, tongs, chopsticks, but if you can think of something else to use, you're welcome to experiment with that as well. And then you're going to need food, and so the suggestions are paper clips, marshmallows, rubber band pieces, seeds, and macaroni. But you can sub in different items for your flies, berries, worms, seeds, and grubs as well. Just whatever it is that you have at home. So, first of all, you're going to have your teams, and if it's just you, that's fine. And you're going to have each member with a different beak. And if it's just you, then you'll be using all of the different beaks 4 or 5 different times, and if it's you and a sibling, you can each try a couple of different ones, so however it works best for you. You're going to time yourself for 1 minute, but this won't necessarily be a relay race because we don't have a lot of members on the team. You see the point value for the food down here at the bottom. And then you're going to time yourself for 1 minute, and you're going to reach into the bin with your beak and grab as much food as you can, but you can't use your hands, you can only use the beak. After you grab the food with your beak, place it into your cup. At the end of 1 minute, sort and count the number of food pieces you managed to grab in your cup. Fill in the chart with your food points. So you notice that there's some that have more points than others, so you might want to strategize, or you might find that a certain type of beak picks up a certain type of food better. So after that, you'll total your points, and then you're going to graph the results for your beak. Now before you start all of this though, you're going to list the members that are playing and the types of beak that they're using. And again, if it's just you, you can just list yourself and however many different types of beaks you tried. And then you need to make predictions, and it can be you and your family, it can be you and your siblings, it can be just you. Which bird beak will be able to catch the most food and why? And which bird beak will catch the least and why? The whys are also important. Alright, so I brought a little demonstration out. Okay, so I have my tongs. This is one of my beaks, and then I have some selections of different food sources. So I have fusilli pasta, and I have almonds. Oops. Okay, I have almonds, I have chocolate chips, and I have wasabi peas. So those are going to be what I'm going to try to capture with my beak. So then when the time starts, then for 1 minute, and you can use as much or as little as you want, or different kinds like I said before, but you're going to start at 1 minute, and you're going to try to get as much of the food as you can into your cup. And you're just going to keep going. And so then you can see, like with this type of beak, now what might be easier to pick up than other things. Okay, after the race, you're going to tally up your food you're gonna sort each of the different types of food from your cup into separate piles, then count each piece of food in the pile and record it below. So if you're using different foods and items than these here, then just cross them out and write in what you decided to use. You're going to tally up how much, and then you're going to multiply it by the points and get a total score. And then down here it says how many pieces of food did you get total for your beak. You can also just write off to the side the total for the other types of beaks, and you can also do that in here. Like you could split it out for the different types of beaks and get your totals. And then how many pieces did your team collect all together, so with all of the different types of beaks, and then you would total that. Okay, so then you're going to, using your data chart, you're going to make a bar graph of the totals for each piece of food. So you have paper clips, marshmallows, rubber bands, seeds, macaroni, and then you're just going to chart however many that you got of each one of these. It says don't forget to label the X and Y axis and assign values to the Y axis. Your hint is perhaps start with 0 and then either go up by 5 or 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 for each one. So you should have a bar graph when you're finished. Okay, so you have some questions to answer on this conclusion page. You have what type of food did your beak get the most of? Which group member got the most food pieces? Were some beaks better at picking up certain pieces of food? So this is a question you can answer. These questions you might have to adjust a little bit depending on how it is that you play the game. But make sure you give an example here. And 4 says, let's say there was a drought and only the seeds and flies survived, so only 2 of your types of food survived. Would you still be able to survive with the beak that you used? And explain that. And then 5, now let's say that there was a fire and only the worms survived because they were underneath the ground. How many group members would survive? And could you change your beak in any way to pick up food that you could not pick up during the game? If so, explain how you could adapt your beak to pick up more food. So again, you might have to adjust these questions, and that's okay if you use different types of beaks, if you, for whatever it is that you assign to the worms or to the grubs. You might have to adjust, and that's just fine. I just wanted you to complete the activity the best way that you could so that you could get more of a hands-on idea about animal adaptations and evolution.